So we want to see what's on the news and what's exciting. But as I just said, real ministry is for those people that are laboring, that is behind the scenes. And so I will say to you, go to the Black Lives Matter website. I'm not speaking for or against, you know. What I would say is that people, they raised $90 million. I looked up the top nonprofit organizations. The top organizations that's really raising money, they're raising in the billions of dollars. And so where did they do with that money? It was on the annual report. Now, I wasn't doing an investigative report, and my mind was like, some of this is not jiving. Some of this is not adding up. But what I will say to you is that if Candace Owens would have went to the annual report, that was my question myself. Why shouldn't you just go look at the annual report? There was some salacious giving going on there to some of the organizations, but they said on their own website they gave 23 of the 33 or 23 of the 30 organizations. I think I have my notes saying 33 organizations, but it might have been 30 organizations. 23 of the 33 organizations, or 30 organizations that gave to, was LGBTQIA led. If you would have went to the website, you would have known that. When you go to donate, all the people that gave the $90 million, did you donate? We was fooled. Did you? Was you really? Why? Why were you fooled? Because you didn't go to the website, that's why. You went to donate, but you didn't read what they say they represent. Man, they represent taking the black male out of the home. Now, I will say when I went to the website again, I didn't see those notes there. But yes, it was a lot of removing the black male hierarchy from the home. That's what the website said. And I read it. But did you? Yes. So I'm going to say it was on the annual report. There was no greatest lie was sold. We have to read. We have to read. But I'm going to quickly and chase on to why I was here. And when I saw the documentary and I saw the demonization of Mr. George Floyd, she was trying to play both ends. Or I don't know if she thought that she was going to get the result that she got. Because if you saw the documentary, let me just say this. Mr. George Floyd was born October 14, 1973. And he attended Jack Lace High School here in my hometown, where I was born in New Orleans, Louisiana, but I was raised in Houston, Texas. He went to Yates High School. He was an athlete, and it said about him that he was the first person in his family to go to college. So being raised in Houston, he went to college, and he went to Minnesota to try to make a better life for himself. Mr. George Floyd was not a saint. He had a criminal record. He had several offenses on his record. And as a matter of fact, from the documentary, Ms. Owens, she did a play-by-play on all of his criminal activities. But what I would say to you, and the demonization of addiction, is that when a person is most vulnerable, when they are deceased and they cannot speak up for themselves, it grieved me. She said that once people started making fun of her, she took it personal. When I saw that documentary, I took it personal too, because I have had people in my life suffer from what we would say the disease of addiction. We tell our own story. Go to our organization website, www.psdiamondcelebration.com, to read my mother's story. But guess what? She was an empowered woman, and she came out on top. And so when I saw that documentary, and I saw, for what? Demonizing a dead man for what? What was the gain in that? What was the purpose of that? Black Lives Matter was started in 2013 in response to the death of Trayvon Martin. Go to their website. Make a decision for yourself. Do you support those things? You have to make a decision. Would you support them? If you didn't know, if you were concerned, maybe you weren't concerned, maybe you didn't care nothing about Black Lives Matter. It didn't make a difference to you. So no, you didn't go to the website, you didn't donate, you weren't bamboozled, none of those things. But I'm going to tell you today, I was personally offended. And I'm pausing for a sec. I was offended. I was offended that that lady got on the internet, that people paid money to subscribe to a program so they could see the best documentary ever. It was not. It was not. It was not. I'm not trying to disparage the young lady. I'm not. She has a right to make a living and make a name for herself. But at the cost of hurt to someone else's family, that's uncalled for. And so, in terms of what we do with Patricia Ann Strange's Diamond Celebration, celebrating persons that are in recovery from drugs and alcohol, that's why I took such an offense to it. I was like, what do they mean the greatest lie ever sold? Who's been bamboozled? I already knew what the organization represented. And I'm not saying to those people that didn't know, but why didn't you know? If it was of importance to you. And so I'm gonna close with this. Go and get the information for yourself. Get the information for yourself. In Matthew 25, verse 35, it says, "For I was hungry, you gave me something to eat. I was thirsty, and you gave me something to drink. I was a stranger, and you invited me in. I needed clothes, and you clothed me. I was sick, and you looked after me. I was in prison, and you visited me." Then the righteous will answer him, "Lord, when did we see you hungry and feed you, or thirsty and give you something to drink? When did we see you a stranger invite you in, or needing clothes and clothe you? When did we see you sick or in prison and go to visit you?" The king will reply, "Truly I tell you, whatever you did for one of the least of these brothers and sisters of mine, you did for me." And so as I would sit here today for you and say, when you see the ones that are needing the most, that is where you go and serve. What is the solution? I saw a documentary, and there was a person, and I don't know his political affiliation. I don't know what his ideologies are. His name was Dr. Claude Anderson. And if you want to support the Black movement and things of that nature, you know what he said? He said the issues that need to be dealt with are economic ones. Because when a person has a voice and have a say, they won't be getting shot by the police, or they won't be getting beat by the police. They have economic strength. That was his answer. And so we're asking for a solution. I'm going to tell you the answer really is a spiritual one. My mother prayed, and she went into a drug treatment program and got help for what she needed and lived a sober life for almost 10 years before her passing. So I would say to you today, use Matthew 25, 35 through 40 as a guide. And Jesus says, when you have done it unto the least of these, you've done it unto me. And we're going to stretch our hands out to you today and say, hey, can you help us do it for the least of these? Can we help women and their families with education, to support programs, with financial fundraising, with GED education, and expanding to the Patricia Ann Strange Diamond House? Go to our website, www.psdiamondcelebration.com. This is Donica. Until next time on Recapture.